All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Room with John from ProCreps on Casino Gaming TV. We got I don't know if it's going to be a good, bad, or ugly show today. It's going to be interesting, I think. Interesting for me because I like playing around with numbers sometimes, and I like trying different things out. My good friend, who shall remain nameless, likes to make so much fun of me because he's like, you're never going to learn. You're never going to stop trying to fix the game. You're never going to... And I'm like, it's not always about that for me. You know what I mean? I like to tinker and play, and I know inherently, and I think you all do too, that every strategy ultimately will lose, right? And there are people who will claim that there's ways you can beat the game. You can't beat the game, right? The house edge... All things being equal, the house edge is the thing that gets you, right? The fact that you don't get paid ever true odds on anything, true odds on the line bets aside, the raw bet still carries an edge, right? Because of that, unless you're beating the game with some other advantage, there's no way to ever quote unquote beat the game. It's just impossible, right? And I know this inherently, but I'm always trying to find ways to play the game in different configurations to like, okay, how can I reduce my risk? How can I enjoy the experience more? How can I more reliably win more often than I lose? And when I do lose, don't lose my ass, right? I'm always trying to figure those things out because you're never going to be positive. Okay, even though I titled today's show, Positive Expectation Craps, there's no such animal as a positive expectation. It just doesn't exist, right? But let's play around with some numbers today, okay? Let's go in here and play with a couple of things. Now, first of all, let me jump in here with some news and notes. Hope you saw it. Chris from Dice Degen put a video out yesterday. He did the lay 410 martingale, which I told you yesterday, friends don't let friends martingale. And when you watch channels of any sort, baccarat, roulette, whatever, and the answer to the thing is martingale, hey, if you do this and you martingale and you martingale, and you guess what? That strategy is in the shitter for me, right? It'll never work, right? The martingale thing, the problem with it, and you know this, right? When you hit table max number one, they limit you from being able to actually pull the move off. You can't pull the move off because of table max. But when it does go south, you lose so much bankroll, right? That the recovery, a martingale basically wins you 1 unit, right? If you martingale 6, 7 levels and lose it, you're losing like 160 units. And risking that to win 1, the recovery takes way too long. The martingale has just got too many problems with it, right? So, but Chris did a video on the 410 lay ladder, lay martingale, and got, well, I'm not going to tell you the answer. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. If nothing else, that video should prove to you that the 410 flip is a real thing. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, go watch it. The other announcement to make today is Craps Chat's going to be on Sunday again. I have to talk to my guys, though, about Craps Chat on Sunday. I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm going to be gone Sunday, actually. I got to figure out how I'm going to produce the show. I'll try and get back in time. I got to run to my daughter's college on Sunday morning, so it's 3.5 hours out, 3.5 hours back. I'm building some stuff for her in her dorm room. So I'm going to hustle to get back up here by 6 o'clock. But our guest on Sunday is going to be Daddy David from CEG. So anything goes, right? The guys, I think, have got, the guys and gals have questions for David. I'm sure that'll be super interesting. David is, wealth of knowledge on all things. So I think they have some interesting ways to go with him. So that'll be really cool. Looking forward to that one. But yeah, with all that stuff, I'm going to get into some math with you here and play around. Holy Roy says, I like the Fibonacci better than a martingale. I like a 31 or a 32 better than all of them, frankly. But any negative progression is going to run into a thing where it doesn't win enough back, right, to cover what the risk is going to be. So when you get into a Fibonacci and you're 7 levels into that thing, right? And the Fibonacci, if you don't know, it's your next bet is what the last 2 bets were together. So if you bet 1, your next bet is going to be 2. If you lose that one, your next bet is 3. It's 2 plus the previous one. If you lose that one, it's going to be 5, 2 plus the 3, and so on, right? Eventually what happens is you win, hopefully, you're back to starting point, and you got a 1 unit profit. But there's going to be points in time where you've lost 8 or 16 units, and your next bet is 32 units, and when it all's said and done, you win 1 at the end. It's a lot of risk for not a lot of reward, but it does win like 98% of the time. it's the 2% that gets you, right? And that's where I think it's problematic for me. Playing negative progressions are problematic. I don't have the bankroll personally to do it. Even on bubble craps, when I've tried it, I've just gotten smoked. I'm just like, ugh, I just don't like it, Yeah, never on flat bets. You're saying never on flat bets, right? And these things were designed for flat bets, right? They were designed for red, black roulette. But when you catch these things and you're winning a little bit of a spiff, like again, blackjack, right? The 3 to 2 every so often makes that a little more palatable, I suppose, right? There you go. I cannot make $250K a year playing. You can't, unless you put 250 on the pass line and you ladder the pass line on unlimited. No, you can't do it. You can't do it. I don't believe that that's true. I just don't. I've seen too much, guys. I've seen too much. Let's jump in. Let's actually take a quick look here. Daily paycheck today. We had a fun one. Again, this is kind of a testing week, right? I'm just kind of monkeying around with stuff. I was supposed to do today the Dallas Drawdown versus the skill slash, and I ended up running the wrong. I ended up running the skill switch instead of the skill slash. Again, strategy names can be a problem because you forget what the hell they are sometimes, right? So the skill slash would have been in a cross bet. Both players going 4,200 across. One player taking a hit and regressing. One player taking a hit and pressing. The next hit, the first player's done. The next hit, the other player regresses down and keeps playing. Different vibe, different rhythm, right? I ran the wrong thing. So maybe tomorrow I'll run them side by side. We'll see if I have time. I did promise Darksider that I would run the modified Iron Cross tomorrow too. So maybe we'll run 3 things tomorrow. We'll see. But anyway, so far, again, so good. Look at the win rate, 86% win rate. If I go to the next screen, look at all the win rates. Okay, this is a daily paycheck. We started with 10 grand. I'm over 50 now, right? Look at all the win rates. Put my glasses on here, right? We've got 72%, 71%, 90%, 100%. Well, played it one time. 85% for Dallas Drawdown, 80% for the Latterson, even though it lost money. Iron T, 100%. The Odds Maker, not so great, 60%. The Red Cross, almost 89%, right? The Skill 66, 100%. The Storm, 60. Some of these other ones here are a little bit lower on the trials, right? 1 trial, 4 trials, hard to give, right? But by and large, we're over almost 80% on our strategy play. Overall, 80%, which is a miracle. It's literally, I called it this morning the Barry Manilow special. It's a miracle to be at 80% win rate. It's so hard to get to that point. We're just, and again, the math people in my life will tell me, you're just getting lucky. You're just getting lucky, right? At some point, that's going to go here. And when you come back to the 60%, whatever expectations you're going to likely land in, all that comes crashing down. We're in a race against time, right? The daily paycheck is a race against the clock. Can I beat the 7 enough times more than I should on the way to 100,000? Can I beat it enough times to get to some random goal number, right? That's what it's going to come down to. And if you look at what it's going to take to get us there, it's going to take us about 230 sessions to get there. Okay, let's do the quick math, right? 240 sessions to win $100,000. Let's make it an even number, 250. Okay, 250 sessions to win $100,000. If that's the case, and I'm doing the drawdown every single day, right? And I've got to win twice. I got to beat the across once. I got to beat the across again. I got to beat it 2 times. 250 days in a row, or 250 days. That's a lot. That's basically, I'm looking at 250 days, I'm looking at 500 throws that I have to face. 500 throws that I've got to face, right? 2 throws a day for 250 days. Can I beat the 7 500 times in a row? No, I can't. Okay. If the 7 comes up the right number of times, what is 16.67% of 500? 500 times 0.1667. It's 158 rolls that we're going to get burned on, right? Can I survive 158 losses? No, I can't, right? If I'm going out, let's say, an easy number, 320 across. If I lose that 158 times, which is a lot, what is that? 320 times 158, that's about 50K, okay? Great. So that would be 50K in losses, right? If we win $105, and we're going to win $105. What is 500 minus 158? It's 500. Shoot. let's see. I get out of here. What did I do? What did I do? There we go. Let's do 500 minus 158. That's 342. You can do the math yourself now, right? 342. 342 times 105 is 342 times 105. It's $35,000, right? So if we lose the right number of times, right, we lose 50K. If we win the right number of times, we win $38,000. You're upside down, right? That's the way it ought to work, right? At some point, that's where I should be. Where I am is 78%. Or on the Dallas Drawdown specifically, I'm over 86%. I'm way over where I ought to be, right? That's why it's winning, because we're getting lucky, and maybe I'm a good thrower, I don't know. But that's the reality of this stuff, right? So when you think about the perfect strategy, the way to win, all this kind of stuff, right? It's all about beating expectations. It's all about living in a variant. And if I look at like playing every day for 250 days, that's a small sample size, and really small. When you think about it, the Dallas Drawdown is 500 throws over the course of a year that I've got to fight. I'm fighting 500 tosses for an entire year to make this kind of money. Can I beat it more than 158 times or whatever that number was? Can I beat the 7 more than that many times? Because every time I beat it by that many times, I'm 100 hours less than I should lose, right? There's a line there where we cross it and say, look, if I beat the 7 100 times, or if I get beat 100 times instead of 158, then I've done it. Then we're going to be in profit for the year, and the profit's going to be actually significant. What's that number look like? Well, here's what it looks like. I'm going to go into that here in a second. I got to actually switch my screen here so I can jump into it for you. Let's take a look, not Crash for the Cure. I'll come back to Crash for the Cure. I want to talk to you about the Dallas Drawdown though. And here's this exact strategy. I'll put my glasses back on with you. So what I'm doing out there on the table in the daily paycheck is essentially this. Okay, the numbers are a little bit different because I have different levels, right? But let's just take it at the easiest level, of the 320 across level. Okay, 320 across, $25 on the 4 and 10, $25 on the 5 and 9, 30 on the 6 and 8. It's just $50 on every number. Okay, we're taking 2 hits or a 7, and that's it. There's no recovery. If you take this thing, and again, you got to be this, you got to be on this discipline, right? Either on the first hit, you win $70. Drop it down to 160, which means you've brought back 70 plus 160 to your rack. Okay, that's 230. You're out for 320, which means you're at risk for $90 on the second throw. On the second throw, if you get it, you win $35, which means you've won 105 and you walk away. If you get a 7 on the second throw, you lost the $90, you walk away. So if you catch a 7 on roll 1 or roll 2, you either lose 320, you lose 90, or you win 105. That's the only 3 outcomes you're going to allow when you play this strategy. I play it in the morning. I keep going and we're trying shit out and we're going too long. The real way to play this thing, lose 320, lose 90, or win 105, and that's it. Okay? If you play it strict like that, here's how the math works. And again, I'm going to do what folks have called crayon math. Like this is like the simple kindergartner math. Okay? You're going to expect to lose the across bet 6 times. Okay, you're fighting. The outcomes that you can have are 30. You can have 30 things can happen. You can have 6 7s. You can have 24 times where you win, right? Out of 30 times, out of 30 outcomes, you're going to lose 6 of them. 320 times 6, 1920. You expect to lose $1,920. That's a 20% loss rate. Okay, that's 6 out of 30 combinations is 20%. You expect that to happen to you 20% of the time. Roll 2, okay, again, you're going to lose that one 6 times, right? You have, again, 30 outcomes can come on roll 2. You can lose, the 7 will come 6 times, or you'll win 24 times on the across bets, right? Again, because you reduced the risk, because you drew it down, if that happens to you, you lose 540. Okay, so your risk obviously lowered down. It's a 16% loss rate at that point. 16% of the time you're going to be here, right? You have 80% of the time, you're going to get here, and then, your loss rate is 20%. So you expect between the two, right? If I add that number up, right, we should be at about a 64% win rate when all is said and done. Okay, you're going to win $105 the other 18 times. So you're going to lose on roll 1 6 times, lose on roll 2 6 times. You're going to win the remaining 18 times. Okay, for $1,890. So 64% is my expected win rate. 34%, 36% or so, my expected loss rate. That's how that works, okay? 80% times 80% ends up at 64%. That's what you expect to win, okay? All that together, you expect to lose $540. And how that works out, you're taking $320 times 30 outcomes, right? Add up all the money, you end up losing expected $570 over the course of 30 separate outcomes at about a 6% bleed from your total risk, okay? That's the math on this thing. Can't change the math. That's how this thing works. That's what the expected value is. Now go back and look where I am, okay? My actual outcome on this strategy right now is 86% win rate, not 64%. I have flipped the bit through luck, okay? What does it look like that way with the variance that I'm currently kind of in, okay? We're beating the 7 by a lot, right? We've flipped it to, instead of losing 320 or our cross bet 6 times, we're losing it an average of 3 times. So of the 30 outcomes up top, instead of getting 6 7s and getting PSO'd six times, it's happening every 3 times out of 30 instead of 6 times. That's a big difference. The loss there is 960 versus 1920, okay? 10% bleed, right? On that second roll, when we had $90 at risk, again, we're losing about 3 times instead of 6 times, which means that our loss is 270, not 540, cutting it in about half, right? That's a 9% loss rate at that level, okay? You put that together, okay? We're at an 80% win rate, thereabouts. We're gonna win $105 24 times because we've moved 6 of our losses into the win column. So instead of losing 6, winning 18, we're losing 3, winning 24, okay? For 25-20, it's an 80% win rate, 90% win rate on the first, 90% win rate on the second throw. Our EV has been, our win rate has been this, 1290 to the positive, 13%, I wanna say expected value, but 13% value on our bets. Because we're in a variant right now. We are in a world where I played this strategy 42 times. Where am I at here? If I go back, let me go back a couple screens. I played this strategy, Dallas Drawdown, 41-7, right? 85%. So we're not even where I just showed you. We're instead of 90%, we're a little bit above. We're 85, not 80. We're actually doing better right now than what I just showed you. I'm doing better than this. This is 80% win rate. I'm at 85%. So I'm hiding a 7 somewhere else. Somewhere else I'm getting 1 or a half of a 7 going away, right? That's amazing, right? I mean, clap it up, pat Johnny on the back. We're doing really good on this. Why is that comment still showing? Right, we're doing great. We're living in a variant though. And I tell you this all the time, and I said this in the Gambling 401 series. You make money or you lose money in variant, right? When things are going well, you better be doing what we're doing here and capitalizing on it. You better be playing in a way that takes advantage of that. And we are. We're getting the hell out when we win. And we're rocking the variant, right? When it goes south, right, you want to pull back a little bit and make sure you're betting as low as you can when it's not going well, right? That's the idea, to kind of build through it. So how does it work, right? How do we live in the world of a variant? How do we turn a negative, right? And again, the negative is this, right? The negative is we expect to lose 570. How do you turn that negative into winning 1290? Okay, well, you reduce your experience with the 7 by 50%. And that's what we've kind of done. And again, I'm not trying to sell you wolf tickets here and saying, hey, John's a great thrower and that's why we're doing it, right? But my experience with the 7 has been reduced by 50%. I'm not losing 6 times on the come out or on the first roll. I'm not losing 6 times on that second roll. I'm losing half of that, okay? And I'm not hiding the 7 altogether. If you look at my stats, and I've shown you my stats, right? My stats are, SRR is about 6, 5.8, 5.9. I have not reduced my SRR at all. I'm still throwing the right number of 7s, right? But what you're seeing is the effect of the stat called the BSR, the box number to 7 ratio, which is the number of 7s you're throwing when the puck is on, okay? My BSR is a little higher than it ought to be. Okay, I'm throwing a lot of come out sevens, right? I'm throwing consecutive come out sevens. My sevens are chewed up over here for some reason, and they're not being exposed during the puck being on. Today was a bad day. Today I had 3 quick sevens today, right? Three out of 4 shooters were quick sevens. Today was not a good example of this, right? But under normal circumstances, my BSR is a little higher, right? I'm seeing the right number of sevens. I'm just not seeing them when the puck is on. So I'm able to survive the 2 rolls more often than I should. Okay, this strategy here that we're playing, and again, you can say that that's because I'm throwing great, right? You might say, hey, John's been practicing and he's got his throwdown, whatever. I'm not having that argument. Okay, I don't believe for a second that I'm a good thrower. I'm an okay thrower. I feel like I'm consistent. I'm not ready to bet $4,000 on my throw. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not ready to do that, right? The goal of that throw is to get to here where I can say, yeah, man, I can 100% hide that 7 for a couple of rolls every single time and feel confident with it. That would be where I want to be in my life, right? But right now, it's luck. Right now, we are dodging the 7 at the right times. We optimize the strategy for time, right? Notice that I don't sit out there for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls. It's 2 rolls, man, right? I might even modify the strategy at some point to do 2 rolls, not even 2 outcomes, right? I may throw a little horn bet out there and bleed a little bit off of the 2 rolls. $10 horn at $320 across, $100 horn at $3,200 across. Bleed out a little bit to make sure it's 2 rolls. And if it's a horn and a box number, buy. Didn't hit goal, but we're positive, right? And again, optimizing for time, I think, is one way to, I don't want to say this out loud. I want to say trick variance, right? That's what I want to say, but it's not the right thing to say. But when you optimize for time, you're not giving the 7 or the dice enough chances to beat you in that session. Now, over the course of 500 sessions or 250 sessions, 500 rolls, yes, you're exposed that many times. But in today, I'm only going to give the dice 2 times to beat me. That's it. I'm gonna go here, and if you beat me, you beat me, and I'm going to call it good, right? If you don't beat me and I beat you, great. Walk away. That's the secret to this strategy. When I have had bad days, all the bad days I've had, and we can go back here. Let's go back a screen. Let's look at August. Okay, August, we're 6-1. Okay, 6 times I won about $1,000. $1,000. Well, there is $1,400 average win, right? $1,400 average win in August. It's great. It's what it should be, right? We're looking for those $1,500 to $1,600 wins. We're right on track with our wins. Our one loss, look at the loss, 6,460. Why is that a loss of 6,460? Because I rail dumped. I lost the 3,600. I went out again at 3,600. Tried to chase it. Took 2 losses on that day, right? Our loss is 6,460 for the month. Our net is 2,212 for the month. Had I followed pure discipline. Let's go back a screen. Let me go back over here again. Had I followed the rules and said, I either get a 7 or I win, or I get a big bad 7, I get a kind of a bad 7, or I win and walk it. That's it. If I would have followed that rule, okay, the day that we lost here would have been 3,600, not 6,400. Which means my 6 wins at 8,000, my 1 loss at 3,600, I should be up 5,000, not up 2,000. This is the difference that I tell you all the time with discipline and money management. I know people will poo-poo that and say, that doesn't make a difference. Luck makes the difference. It does. Luck makes a difference. This is a difference maker too, right? You follow the rules. I take my 1 loss and I'm like, well, it wasn't my day, done. That difference, that extra $3,600 that I burned that day, saying, that was a bad throw, let me just try it again. Boom, another $3K out the window. That takes my August profit from $5,000 to $2,000, right? And if I'm looking to win $5K a month in my retirement, I could have done that in a week. I could have done it in 7 sessions. I could have been at $5,000. As it is, I'm at $2,000 and I got to keep on freaking playing and hope I can dodge that 7 a couple more times, right? Disciplined money management, optimizing for time is such a critical thing. And that's why I say, can you turn a strategy positive or negative to positive? No, there's no like magic to it, right? When you're in a world where you're getting the lucky outcomes, take advantage of it. When you have a rule set like this, and you can see with the rule set, even at 320 across, right? Over the course of 30 outcomes, which would be 15 days of, 15 or whatever, 30 days of going, 1 month of casino work, right? 1 month of casino work, you can expect to lose about $500, right? If you happen to get lucky, you could expect to win about 1,200, right? The way that we're doing it now. That just, I'll give you a lens on what it looks like, okay? So again, how do you turn negative to positive? Reduce your experience with the 7, right? We talked about optimizing your strategies way back during the big series, right? And I said you can optimize for time, you can optimize for what beats you, right? Have less things beat you. Optimize your money spread, right? The combination of things here is where that works. We optimize this strategy for time. I don't want to be out there fighting the numbers for more often, but in order to get a decent win percentage or decent win amount, you've got to optimize your money. Go out there a little bit bigger, take the bigger risk, but know where you're going to land. And that's it. That's the whole thing. I really think that a little bit of reality is important here, right? There is no positive advantage play in this game, in roulette, in anything other than potentially blackjack. Take advantage of the luck. Take advantage of the variant. And here we are. We're in a great variant right now. I'm riding the wave. I'm loving it, right? I'm hoping the wave lasts long enough to get me to the 100,000 before I hit that 60% win rate down from 80. That's the whole point of it, right? And I think that having discipline and using discipline is going to be the thing. That's the difference. You can see it right there. The day that I didn't show discipline cost us big. It cost us really big. It cost us basically a full month's paycheck by not showing discipline. So that's my talk on Dallas Drawdown. You can do this breakdown on any strategy that you play. I'm going to go back a screen here. Take this screen that I have here. I did this with the martingale yesterday. We did it with the 410, with the lay 4 ladder. Okay, this exact same breakdown, do with every strategy you play. Okay, put your bets out there. What do I have? And what beats me? What do I win when I win? What do I lose when I lose? And if you break it down, roll 1, we're going to lose. Roll 2, we're going to lose. Roll 3, we're going to win, or whatever it's going to be. You can calculate it pretty easily, what you expect to lose and win, what the percentages are, and look at your strategy. I may at some point build a little app where you can put that in. It'll spit it out for you, like a nice, easy way to see what the EV is over time. But this is a way to calculate it, and it's very simple, right? And again, your negative 570 here is your expected loss, which is 570, divided by how much money you're putting at risk. I'm putting at risk $320 30 times. Over that amount of money, we're going to lose 570. That's where it comes out to the 6%. That's how that is figured out. So anyway, you can follow this same pattern for everything. I'll give you some, I'm going to write an app at some point that just does this for us, so we can just put in your strategy and you can go, oh, there's my EV. And there's my expected, at these values, what's my expected? And then I'll let you tweak it and say, look, if I changed this number of outcomes from losing 6 times to 5 times to 4 times, what's the line I got to cross to get it to positive, and you got to be able to know when you're there, I guess, right? So, all right, I think that's it. Let me go to the questions and answers here real quick and see if there's anything y'all want to talk about. Let me go to the filter for PCs and see what's being said. By the way, Holy Roller, I called you yesterday. I'll try calling you again this afternoon at some point. Let's get hooked up on Craps for the Cure and some other things too. Yeah, I could win craps all 3 side by side. The thing is, win craps, I like it, but people get kind of bored with it. Like, win craps is not the most exciting thing to watch. It's fun for me to play with it, but I don't think that people love watching it. So I don't know. I may. Dan, I have looked at that, and it's where the difference is here. The difference in across versus inside is the number of outcomes, right? The way that works is, instead of 320, you can do 330 inside, let's say, right? The same thing would happen. You would lose it 6 times on roll 1. If you press the 330 to 440, which I know you do, you can expect to lose the 330 another 6 times. Let me go back one more screen, right? So you look at like, what is my expected outcomes, right? So your inside bet's 330, you're gonna lose on the first roll 6 times. When you press it up to 440, you're gonna lose that 6 times. You have 12 times you're gonna lose the full 330, okay? On the inside bets, when the whole thing works out, you're gonna go from 330 to 440, right? You're gonna take that, what is it? You're gonna take a 280 win out of that thing, right? Is it 280 or 140? 140, take a 140 plus 100, you're gonna take a $240 win, 245 rather, off of the table. So you win 245, not 18 times, but 12 times, okay? Because then the inside bets have 20 ways to win, not 24 ways to win, right? You're giving up 12 of them on the initials, right? The last one, that last 20, you've already chewed a bunch of that up. So that's where the difference is on the inside outside. It's you're gonna win more, but less often. At the end, it's gonna be roughly the same. It's your experience, right? You're needing to beat the 7 2 full times, or it's a full loss versus the partial loss. And you're fighting not 80% win rates, but 70-something% win rates, because you're missing the 4 and 10. So it's just the number, it's this number is what changes in here. This number in here changes from 18 to 16, or 18 to 12, because you're giving up 6 combinations. You're giving up the 4s and 10s. So you're gonna win 245 12 times. And you're gonna lose 6 and lose 6. Your 24 total outcomes, not 30 total outcomes. That's the difference of inside outside. So the 4s and 10 just give you an easier way to be out in 2 rolls than having to last for longer. That's the difference. You know, I don't know if that's going to be my retirement plan or not. Right now, I'm feeling confident because we're winning a lot. I'm in the variant, right? So I'm winning a lot right now. It feels good. I do like 2 rolls and go home. I like that a lot. The other way I played today with the 1100 inside, full press and pull down, also comfortable playing at that level and that style of play. Again, missing the outsides kind of sucks, but the reduced risk makes it a little more palatable. I do like that. I actually like the idea of 2 rolls and go home, better than trying to grind it forever. How do I train to be a host, says Alan? Well, first things first, I hooked up with Premier Casino Hosting, right? And here's the process. Hooked up with them because I have a channel and I've got y'all, right? I can talk and say, hey, if you want a host that cares, I'm your guy, right? And we have a relationship, and so I've got an ability as a host to bring people into the fold, right? The training for that, there's a lot of back end things that happen. It's not just about being nice to people, right? There's all these systems that we have to get into to book the rooms and check on rates and all these things that go on there. That's where the training has to happen, right? And I'm not allowed to see that stuff yet. I'm still so new at this. There's a process you go through that we call the colonoscopy. It's basically like a 60 or 70 page application that goes through like the last 30 years of your life. It's like tax returns for 10 years. It's all this stuff. All the gaming commissions need to fully vet you that you're not part of the mob, right? And have no felonies and all this kind of stuff. So once you're approved, that takes 6 to 8 months to get approved, then I have access to the systems. Then I can book rooms and check rates and do all the actual host work. At this point, it's kissing babies and shaking hands, right? And making sure that people want to be with us. I hook you up with Michael and the other guys and they do the work. But right now, I'm just kind of a salesperson, right? At some point, though, there's a whole system behind the system that works, and you're in a much closer partnership with the casino as a third-party host, which is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to getting to see some of that stuff. I'm just not allowed to see it yet because I've not been approved by the Gaming Commission, and it just takes a minute. The nice thing is once I'm approved by them to be a host, when I get my dealer license, it's instant. I'm already approved. So that's just signing my name and I'm good. So that's going to be really cool. Okay. Holy Roll, we are living in a variant. Absolutely. We're living in a variant in many ways, man, not just in craps. We're living in many, many ways. No, it's not the best way for a choppy table. The best thing for a choppy table is the Dale and Bear, what Waylon does. The best way for a choppy table is a ladder. Ladders beat the chop. The only way to beat a chop is ladder. The problem is the chop happened already. The chop already happened. We already had this going on. You don't know that you're still in the chop. When you're in a chop and you go, God, I just got lost, right? Go to the ladder and ride the ladder until you get a couple, 2-3 wins in a row, and then you can work something positive, right? Get out of the ladder as fast as you can, but the ladder is the only way to beat a chop. There's no other way to beat a chop than laddering. But again, laddering is dangerous. Need bankroll for it. I would recommend, it doesn't matter what you want to do. It depends on what you want to be on the front or the back of the house kind of thing, right? I'm doing both because I want to, at some point, you guys know this, right? I want to retire in the craps world. Whatever that looks like, right? I mean, I'm going to go to work for hopefully Microsoft at some point or whatever, right? But I'd love to retire in some way doing this, right? Whether it's as a host, whether it's as a dealer, whether it's as a trainer, right? I can work for Casino Quest as a trainer at some point, right? Doing the school thing. I'm a good teacher. I would do great at Casino Quest or CEG Doer School, being a teacher, right? I'm a fun person. I would do great at the tables being a dealer. If my back could handle it, I would be a great dealer, I think, right? I think I'm also friendly with y'all and would make a great host. Maybe there's a world where all those things come together and I'm doing some hosting, I'm doing some training, and on the weekends I go deal, live in Vegas, and I'm living the life, I'm having fun for a few years. That might be where it ends up. I don't know which is gonna be the best one for me yet, where I fit best. I think getting dealer training first would be great if you can do it. It's cheap, number one. You know the game inside and out, number two. You're working at a casino, number three, so you're getting to experience the pit and the whole inner workings. When you then become a host, you understand all that, and I think you'd be a better host by having been on the inside. That's my guess. Be on the inside, externalize as a host, you probably do way better, I think. We'll see. Let's see. Gary says, I hope when I start the paycheck for real money, my first 10 sessions are like, yeah, no shit, dude, you got pounded. And again, as long as you're doing it from a position of strength, right? If you can withstand the loss, and you got thumped, you got to go at it like I did here, right? $10,000, buy it for $1,000, win 100, and just build your way up, build that bankroll up. I think just going out there and rail dumping every day is going to be a disaster. So no, I won't do that. And we'll see with real money, am I willing to go out there $4,200 across for 2 rolls? I don't know if I am or not, right? Am I more apt to go out there for 1,000 across and grind out, right? Probably in the beginning because I'm a little gun shy, but honestly, winning 2 rolls is easier than winning 10 rolls. And if you go out there for $1,000, you got to win 10 freaking times, man. So anyway, there it is. I wish it is not allowed for them to play craps. They can play craps not in their own casino. So dealers can gamble. It's not in their home casino or their home group. So if you work for Harrah's, you cannot play at like Planet Hollywood. You can't play for a Caesar's property, but you can play elsewhere, and they all do. They're all a bunch of degenerates for sure. You just can't play for your own group. That's the thing. You can go elsewhere in town and travel the country and play too. So. Ian said, not that. I am very nice. I'm a very nice person, Ian. I promise you. My wife says it too, even, right? Dealers are degenerates, right? Remember Sin City Living? Remember the channel Sin City Living? What a bunch of degens those guys were, right? David will admit it too. He's like, I've seen too much. I don't want to grind. David's like, opportunity. Let me just get... David's the guy, 320 across, 1 hit. $70, go 64 across, and just press to yellow chips. Like, that's David, right? $45,000 or nothing. He'd rather tie every single day and have the home run. I would rather win a little bit every single day, right? I would rather be here like this, and he just wants to go boom and tie and boom and tie. I get it, right? Dealers have seen a lot, and they've probably seen everything, So anyway, that's their thing. You never got 2 rolls. That's so brutal, man. Never getting 2 rolls. That just sucks. Dealers power pass. They do. Dealers are just absolute degenerates, which is funny because you'd think that they would know better, right? But I guess they just have the thrill junkies, right? All right, let me get out of here, folks. I hope this is a good show today. The Martingale show was good, I think. Today, this is an important one, right? There is no positive EV game or a strategy. There just isn't one that's got a positive expected value. There's not. The only way to turn the ugly that's here into the positive that's here is with a little bit of luck, obeying the rules of discipline, and again, beating the 7 in craps specifically at the right times. It's all timing, right? The same SRR can win you a fortune if all the sevens are on the come out. That's what I've been experiencing. My sevens are largely come out sevens, not so much roll puck on sevens. That's why we're doing it. You know, the drawdown, even if I get the one hit wonder, I'll lose the $900 or the $90 here. It's not going to change my life to have a second roll seven. It's like, well, wasn't a good day today. Sorry, it didn't work out. That's okay. It's an okay outcome. That's a fine outcome. And you have to kind of live with that, right? Lose the 900. What I'd probably do, honestly, is if that happened to me in a real life casino, go $4,200, but lose 900, right? Call it $1,000 loss. Take the extra 100, play that out, and just let it go, right? Fine. But if you're not willing to walk, that's where you have problems, right? I think discipline makes a difference. So, all right, guys, that's it. You didn't venture to depend on luck alone. I get you, right? That's where the throwers come in, right? The throwers come to try and turn negative into a positive physically, right? The Georges, you, right? Ed, right? The guys who really want to be advantage players through their toss are trying to physically turn a negative into a positive, right? By doing something with the dice, by creating the variant, okay? I'm going to be a little more realistic about it and say, hey, we're in a variant. It's luck at this point. It is what it is. If I ever get skilled enough to cause it, even better. That'd be a nice goal to have. If I could cause it and I could dodge the seven twice a day, every day for the rest of my life, that'd be fantastic, right? I don't know that I can ever do that. But I get what you're saying. That's why people buy tables. That's why they buy dice. That's why they throw. That's why we do this stuff, right? People want to get better and turn a negative to a positive with their skill. I'm telling you right now, luck, variance, recognition, money management, and discipline, those are the ways that you can harness the variant, not control it. So there is that. Alan, I did see your message. We're not ready to do the Zoom call just yet. I will get on it though, for sure. Probably in a couple of weeks. It's just things are moving so fast right now because of the loss of the casino with the Craps for the Cure. I'm scrambling, so I need some time to figure it all out. All right, let's see. What else is here? Tom says you're a good show, expensive 85% and decent. Other 15 did the math. Yeah, that's where I am, right? I think I'm 85% win. So, all right, let's get out of here, guys. Let's get out of here. Y'all have a good day. I gotta get to work, and that's it. Happy, what is it, Thursday? It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday Follies. We get to have some fun tomorrow. Do a little bit of a giant-sized Iron Cross tomorrow in honor of and with Darksider. If I have time, I'll do some skill switch and some skill slash and other stuff with it. So expect a good show tomorrow. I'll probably do the daily paycheck and have it run for 2 hours tomorrow. I'll probably be at the table for 2 hours. Instead of coming in here for coffee run, we'll probably just keep the one stream going all day. That's what we're going to do. All right. Happy Thursday. God bless y'all. Bye.